Hi, this is Shaw TV's Kevin Hirschfield, and we're here today to talk about trends in the music world. And we're very happy to be joined here today by the incoming Manitoba Music Executive Director, Sean McManus. Sean, congrats on the new job, first of all.
Thanks.
Thanks for joining us, but let's get right into it. There always seems to be new ways for people to listen to music, to download music, to consume music. What are some of the trends that you've been noticing recently when it comes to that category?
Sure. Well, the biggest trend undeniably was, I think, the introduction of Spotify into Canada this year. We've been waiting. We've got other streaming services like RDO that's been in Canada for a while, but Spotify is the big one. And so really, I mean, that's about streaming. It's not about downloading, right? It's about having access to this huge catalog of music, to playlists, and being able to stream it on your phone, on your device, on your computer. And having that on mobile is a game changer too. For the artists, it means instead of selling CDs or even selling downloads, they're collecting money on these tiny little like pennies on streams. So you need to get a lot of streams for it to equal, what you used to make on a download. But that's the future.
Right, very cool. Let's talk about the people that make the music, actually the artists, the bands, and let's focus from a local standpoint, I guess, the Winnipeg artists, the Winnipeg or Manitoba musicians or bands. Who are some that are on the rise?
Sure, I mean, it's as strong a scene as ever. I mean, we have an amazing music scene here. When we look back at the last year, our sort of folk and roots and alt country scene, which has always been really strong, was strong once again. Our top sort of award nominees and winners this year, Del Barber was one of them. We've got bands like the Bros Landreth that are just signed a U.S. record deal and U.S. agents, and so that scene is strong as always. Our Aboriginal music scene is really strong as well. Indian City was another top sort of award nominee. They're an Aboriginal kind of super group. And then Tanya Tagaq, who's a throat singer and made this just incredible record, ended up winning the Polaris Prize, which is a national prize decided by media. It's a really, really big deal. She's living in Brandon, so that was pretty incredible. And then, yeah, I mean, just artists being out on the road and touring a lot. A band like Royal Canoe, they put out their record last year, but they spent the whole year touring that record in all different markets, and actually tapped into another trend, I would say, around crowdsourcing. Of course, all musicians are looking at crowdfunding as a way to fund their records. For them, it was they got a bunch of gear stolen. And they went to their fans, and their fans stepped up, and they made all the money back and more within 24 hours or something like that. So that was kind of a nice part of that trend to see.
That is super cool. Definitely check out some of the artists you mentioned, support local music and local artists. Sean, thanks a lot for doing this today. We're going to explore another music trend now further, and it's actually a bit of a resurgence as well. Do you happen to have a Walkman lying around your house about 20 years old or so? Because you might want to dig it out. Cassette tapes appear to be resurging.
I think we'll go with a little Bohemian Rhapsody, gentlemen.
Good call.
2 decades ago, this was one of the only ways to listen to new music.
Little silhouette of a man. Scaramouche, will you do the fandango?
And after making way for new forms of music listening, the cassette tape is climbing up the popularity charts once again. Chris Jacques owns the local Dub Ditch Picnic Records label. Out of his 60 releases, about 95% have been on cassette. So much for the death of tapes.
Have it just sitting on your hard drive. There's nothing there. There's nothing to look at. There's nothing to enjoy. Part of buying a tape or a record is actually going and interacting with somebody. So you go to a shop or to a show, get a tape for $5.
Jacques also makes the cassettes and says they're cheap and easy to produce.
It's super exciting for me to help, get new sounds out, and for somebody else to, have their release, maybe hear it on the radio.
He was one of the organizers of the first ever local cassette store day recently and says it was a success, with cassette lovers coming together to listen to their favorite tapes.
There are certain genres, certain styles of music that just lend themselves to cassette. Certainly experimental and noise has a long history of that. The fidelity's not there, so why put it on a medium that's really going to show the warts, where you can put it on cassette and it actually sounds pretty good.
The Winnipeg rock band Vampires, who reached the top of the local college rock charts, released their EP mainly by cassette.
you know, when you have to flip a side or you know, like rewinding them. There's something neat about it. We both wanted to put something out that showcased our values, and we only had like 4 songs to work with, so Cassette was a perfect way to get the most out of what we wanted to put out.
It's a bit of nostalgia for the duo as they grew up listening to tapes and still buy them to this day. With other local acts doing similar cassette releases, Vampires is excited to be part of a group bringing out new music with old technology.
I mean, we would have put out a cassette no matter what, but knowing that other bands that we enjoy working with and listening to are also doing the same thing, we can really feel a part of something. The future is daunting, so why not just make your own choices and hopefully it sticks out in your own way.
And with bright futures for bands like these in the local music scene, Cassettes may not be going anywhere anytime soon. For Go Winnipeg, I'm Kevin Hirschfield.